What's going on, guys? Luke here from Mr. FBA UK, bringing you another video, episode 4 of sort of this mini series, going over something 5 to 10 minutes every day, just so it's easy for people to consume rather than like an hour-long video on something quite sort of heavy. So this is just going to be talking about selling globally on Amazon. Now, obviously, people who are been a bit longer know it at the back of their hand. It's easy, but new sellers get really confused about what they want to do in terms of, what is pan-European, what is EFN, what is, like this, what is that, taxes, VAT, get a little bit sort of confused. So this is literally just a really simple video going over basically what it is, what to choose in your settings and what not to choose in your settings. So we're going to start off in here, which is you go to settings on the top right, down to fulfillment by Amazon, and it'll come up with this page with all the details on various things. So you see up here, pan-European, so the whole of this first box, yeah? So you want to make sure your pan-European FBA is disabled. So this is all disabled, because basically this means that Amazon sends your stock to sit in another country, so they'll move, the system will figure out what is sort of needed in certain countries and send it there because it's closer to the customers. And then if you sell it in, say, France, it will just ship from the French warehouse wherever it is at the time. But the problem with this is that your stock is then physically in another country being stored, and that triggers VAT payable within that country. Basically, it means that you don't just have to, basically you have to register for VAT across multiple countries, which costs a lot of money. And why do you want to be paying VAT if you're under the threshold of like the £85,000 per year anyway? So you'll be paying VAT in countries where you wouldn't even, your sales are not high enough to need to register, so it sort of defeats the point. And it's a lot of fuss and hassle because you've got to go through each independent country's VAT sort of process, and yeah, it's just a nightmare. So don't do it. So make sure it's always disabled, because what you want is the EFN, European Fulfillment Network, I think it's called, not this one. So if you go down, a lot of these settings, I can't remember what half of them are now, but you'll see at the very bottom is this. So you basically want to go in. Let's see what happens when I click this. I can't remember what happened to the phrase. Here we go. So you're going to go in and you want to select this. And to be fair, I'm not sure what that one is. Media items worldwide. I mean, probably not going to get many media items selling worldwide. I don't, like, they just buy it for their own country probably. But here, I'd select the 26 countries and regions. So if you actually look, it's let's see if it has EFN. It doesn't actually say, but basically I think it's European Fulfillment Network or something, or maybe it means FBA export, I don't know. But this one, it will actually ship to not just the main countries that you know of, which is the UK, Germany, France, Italy, and Spain. It will actually go to all these other countries, because a lot of these countries don't have Amazon in their own country, so they actually got to buy. Like Belgium, for example, would buy from France. So they would just log on to Amazon France, buy something, ship it to Belgium. Like Cyprus, I think I've had someone buy it from the UK, and it was shipping to Cyprus or something. Here it is. So obviously you can go on to another country and buy it, and it would just go to there. And this will just give you this will give you a nice coverage of countries, to be fair. So make sure you click that, and then obviously update, and do that with each country. So go on, and this actually might do it for all of them, but if you do that, it might select automatically for all of the countries down here. So enabled, 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 enabled. But you have to double check. So make sure the bottoms are all on under the 26, and up here they are disabled. And you can actually go in here, inventory, and then this one, ignore. So don't touch this one. Sell globally down here is where you then go and set up details, and it takes you to here. obviously I've got it, and you would come down to the bottom right hand side here. I'm not sure what it looks like when you haven't set this up, can't remember, but I believe you would go into each of these, not the UK obviously, and then set the specific details. But you have to. I've set mine up so long ago. It's very difficult. It's all changed the way it looks. So you check here, and then you'll be able to check statuses and stuff. But yeah, it's a bit more information here. But basically, that's what you need to know, because by sending it up that way, you don't have to pay the VAT in those countries, because all that happens is it ships directly from the UK to those countries, rather than being already in those countries going. Which means it's fine. It can, and you don't have to register for VAT. But you do have to register for VAT in those countries if you sell a certain amount of stock. Obviously, just like the UK, if you could sell over £85,000 a year, I think it is, within a 12-month cycle, then you've got to register for VAT. And obviously, those countries, if you sell over a certain amount of money in those countries, then obviously you've got to pay VAT, just like you do this country. And the amounts change. So if we're going to just do this, so we'll go for France. So here, France, if you sell more than 35,000 euros, let's say that's £32,000 a year, you have to register for French VAT. Now Germany is 100,000. So if you're getting close to that, I would turn off France, and I'd try to promote the Germany, because obviously you can just go crazy. Italy is down here, 35,000. Spain would then be there, 35. So you've got to be wary of that. So if you actually, over a year, you're actually doing more than this, you're meant to register, because obviously they can catch you up. And Amazon has started really cracking down on VAT and stuff like that. So if you aren't paying VAT, for whatever reason, you might actually get your account suspended, because they're aware of what you're selling, but you haven't submitted your VAT number in those countries. So it's sort of, the system sort of tell. Just like if you hadn't submitted your VAT number in the UK, but you've done £200,000 of sales, obviously it's going to be picked, it's going to be seen. So you just want to be careful of that, because otherwise you can be in not just a lot of trouble with Amazon and get your account suspended until you've submitted your number. Is that, like, obviously with HMRC and all that, like, you can go to jail potentially. Like if it was some stupid amount of money that you were frauding, then obviously you can go to jail for it. Usually just fined, because, you know, not because I never went to jail, but it's not just like a slap on the wrist. It will be, and it goes against your business and stuff like that. It's like a black mark and stuff. You just don't want any of that. So make sure you're aware of not just that, but also when you would need to register for VAT in the other Eurozones. But usually France and Germany are the two that you do most of your sales in. The other two you wouldn't probably get up to that high. But France is the one to watch out for, because Germany is quite high anyway, so you probably never really get to that number unless you're a really, really large seller, because that obviously Germany's not going to be your main passive sale, up the UK. But France, you'd have to be, you know, once you start doing reasonable numbers on Amazon, you've got to be careful that you didn't hit that. So yeah, that is the video. Any questions, let me know. I know I've sort of gone over it quite quickly, because these are only small, like, snippet videos, just not going into too much crazy detail. But yeah, hopefully you've got the gist of what I'm trying to explain. But it is something you really need to be aware of. Another little aspect you have to pay attention to, just like all the others. But once you know it, it sort of becomes second nature. So hopefully you liked the video. Smash a thumbs up if you did. If you want to see anything else on the mini-series, just comment and I will do it. Or so maybe you want to see something a bit more in depth, a bit more substance into it, and do the same. Just to let me know, and I'll put it down on the notepad and get around to creating that video. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it. Just subscribe as well if you want to see some more videos, because I want to do a daily episode for the foreseeable future anyway, and I want to cover everything. Just little snippets, but cut little and often. Cover everything that you can possibly cover for this business model. So yeah, anyway, enough of me. Enjoy your evening, and I'll see you on the next video.